Welcome back to Taj's Garden. I'm the gardening realtor, and if you're new here, I'm glad you're here. If you are returning, welcome back. Today we're going to be harvesting a couple of things from my garden because there are quite a few things that need to be harvested. It's still spring, but in May, it heats up pretty quickly in Oklahoma, so we don't want these things to go to flower. So we need to go ahead and harvest it before it thinks that it needs to create some seeds. Something I've started to take very serious is replacing what I harvest. So if I harvest something, I'm always going to make sure that I have something to replace it. I harvested broccoli, but the good thing about broccoli, you can, if you cut it the right way, you're going to continue to get broccoli shoots. I harvested pak choi, one pak choi not too long ago, and I replaced it with another pak choi seedling. So if you guys have not started your seeds, make sure that you start your seeds. Take this as a sign to start your seeds. I've started a lot of lettuce, which the seeds have not sprouted, so I'm assuming that these seeds are not good. I've had them for a couple of years, so I might need to get new seeds. I started pak choi, broccoli, cantaloupe, and I started a couple of tomatoes. Now these are just strictly determinate tomatoes, and I plan on having these whenever my tomatoes are getting tired. So basically these are going to be my fall, late summer to fall tomatoes, and I'll show you how they look. It's been raining quite a bit today, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest because it needs to get done. Since you last saw the garden, I have added some straw because it was much needed. I had a lot of roly-polies just tearing my plants up, so I needed to add some more organic matter, so that is the reason why I went ahead and chose to go with straw. I already had mulch on the top of the soil, but apparently it wasn't enough. So since I've added the straw, I haven't had any issues. Let's go ahead and start with harvesting our kale. Since having this kale in my garden, I haven't even harvested it at all, so I'm hoping it does not go to flower. This is going to be the first harvest from it. When you're harvesting kale, you always want to make sure you harvest from the bottom, and I'm going to need some prunes. I'm going to have to get my tools if I can find it, because for some reason they always go missing, and I'm sure they go missing because of my kids. I can't find them, so we're just going to go with scissors. Alright, so as I was saying, you always want to make sure that you harvest from the bottom up and get as close to that stem as you can. Alright, under these leaves, it looks great. I have a little bit of straw in there, but that's fine. I'll get that off. Looks, we don't have anything touching the soil. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the next kale plant. This is chamomile that I started from seeding. It's doing really good spreading. I hope it doesn't take over the entire garden, but I'll just try to prune what I can because I actually really do like chamomile, so we'll see how things go. I have some collard greens over here. I'm not sure if I'm ready to harvest this yet. I think I'll let it get a little bigger. Let me know what you guys think. think I should go ahead and harvest it, or you think I should wait a little bit? I have another kale over on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest some of these leaves. The one thing I don't like about this straw is it gets so stuck. It gets easily stuck to the veggies, which I don't know, maybe I'll get used to it. I have a few tomatoes actually growing on one of my tomato plants, and that is this one over here. I learned the hard way last year not to pull on those stems too hard. I was a little too excited, and I was showing my neighbor the tomatoes that were growing on the plant, and it ended up snapping. But I twisted some twine around it, and then it healed, so that was great. But I just would be careful when trying to show the tomatoes on your plant. Here are my onions. I've had one go to flower, and that is actually really great because last year there was a lot that went to flower. So I am just going to continue waiting to see if any more is going to go to flower, and I'll let y'all know what I did different this year. I have to wait and see if it worked first, but we are starting to see some bulbs. I have another chamomile right here spreading out. Some more broccoli. These are going to be so nice. I have some more kale in the next bed over. Okay, change of plans. I think this is going to be all that I'll harvest today. A couple of these have aphids on them. Some of them were yellow. So these are all the ones that I'm going to be throwing out. Out of the ones we're throwing out, we have all of this. So this is a lot. I'm going to try to see what I can do with all of this because I do not want it to go to waste. So whenever you harvest kale, you want to make sure that you cut from the bottom up, because you can see that new growth right there. They're going to grow from the inside out. That is where you're going to see your new leaves. So you could actually prune even more if you just wanted to. But I don't need that much. So we're just going to leave the plant like it is. You also want to make sure that you cut as close to the stem as you can. That should be fine. But yeah, that is how you harvest kale. Right next to my kale are my peas. And it looks like one is ready. I have two ready actually. Oh, I pulled that wrong. You actually are supposed to pull it right there. I have another one growing right here. Alright, so I ended up pulling this wrong, but here is a pea. This is a great size. I normally would pull it a little bit earlier than this, and they blend in so well, so it's kind of hard to see where they are, but here's one right here, one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one off. You just sometimes it's better to get some pruners and just cut it right there, but I'm just gonna use my nails. Just easy as that. But they are a cool season crop, so I will be pulling them up very soon, because when it gets hot outside, the peas are kind of bitter. I have one growing right here. You can see underneath this flower. My chamomile is filling out nicely. My rosemary is multiplying greatly. Peppermint is doing better than I even thought. And this rosemary is doing wonderful too. I noticed that something has been eating my sage. You can see that. Whatever it is, they're loving it. And whatever was eating that has been eating my bean plant too, but they haven't eaten it since I covered it again because I didn't have this on it for a couple of days and it was just tearing it up. The next thing we're going to be pulling up will be my lettuce, but I'm gonna wait. I need to eat this kale first because it's just a lot of kale. This is how the lettuce looks right now. And I put a seedling here the other day and something came by and ate it up. I'm not sure what it is. I'm pretty sure it was probably a cutworm because whatever it is has been eating my carrot tops too. One day half of the seedling was gone, then the next day the entire seedling was gone. The only thing that was left was the root into the ground. Everything else looks great in the garden. I decided to do something that I don't know was a smart thing or an unsmart thing. But I planted my strawberries with my blueberries. I had a lot of extra strawberry bare roots, so I decided to plant them as a ground cover for my blueberries because strawberries also like acidic soil, not as much as the blueberries, but it's going to take a while for the soil that my blueberries are in to actually get acidic. So I went ahead and just grew them in here and they are thriving. So I think it's alright for now. And once the soil gets really acidic, I plan on moving them. This is how my strawberries look that are in the tower. Pak choy, rosemary, pak choy, and that is a little pak choy seedling right there, Swiss chard. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, please drop them down in the comment section. If you absolutely love kale and you have a special recipe that you would like me to try, drop that down in the comments too. I would love to give it a try. And if you want to be a part of a cool, pretty cool gardening community on Facebook, go to Facebook, type in Prosper and Plant, hit join, and I'll see you over there. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.